Say it ain't so, Keith. So Keith Ellison was asked whether or not he wanted to get rid of campaign donations. This was his answer.
National Committee. Debbie Wasserman-Schultz quietly lifted it for the 2016 election. Would you support reinstating it?
Yeah, I would. I think it's important that people feel that the party's their party. People need to feel like, hey, you know, this Democratic Party is my party. And part of what gives them that sense that it is their party, that they possess it, that they own it, is that they pay for it. So we're going to be asking Democrats to, you know, pony up and help, you know, get us the resources we need to run this party.
I like that answer. And he's right. If you're in a party, think of it this way. You have all these people donating money. You have one guy who donates millions of dollars, and you send me $10. Now, granted, who are they listening to? Now, just by research, Princeton ran a study that showed, for the most part, America's an oligarchy. What a voter wants, what an individual person wants, or for the matter, what the public wants, has little to no bearing on the legislation that's passed. What does get passed are the people who are giving these guys money. There is a clear correlation between those two things. Alright, so I like this answer. Will you accept money from lobbyists? No, I don't think we should accept money from lobbyists. When people come and vote for a Democrat, they need to know that they're voting for that Democrat. I like that answer. Fast forward a few days later. So at the debate, the same question was asked. And at this point, the pretty strong guy right there was singing a different tune. If I become the DNC chair, I want to impose a policy. It would be a democratic process. If it's the will of our party that we do it, then we'll do it. But it will bring the responsibility on everyone's shoulders because we have to go and find that money. We got to get that money. That's a different tune, dude. And you know that those guys are not going to want to give up that money. And that's why you want that vote. You want to clear your ass on it. Give me that money. Oh, give me that money. Oh. Come on, man. This doesn't feel a little sleazy to you? I mean, they're essentially saying give up lobbyist money. And you know the sad part? The DNC is actually in debt right now. I think $2 million in debt. One of the guys who was up there. So, South Carolina Democratic Party Chairman Jamie Harrison, a former lobbyist for the Podesta Group, argued fiercely against the ban, pointing out that the DNC is $2 million in debt and can use the money from lobbyists to rebuild state parties. But what do you do for that money? What do you do for the money? So one of the other guys said, he said Democrats would not be compromised by such funds because DNC members don't make laws in Congress. They merely work to strengthen the party electorally. Dude, that is the dumbest answer I've ever heard. Your job, supposedly as a DNC chair, at least is the way they explain it, is to get Democrats elected. How are you going to get Democrats elected? Up until this point, you've taken a bunch of cash. And then to take that cash, you're trying to make the case that says, no. We can take the cash. Even though we're trying to get Democrats elected, and that is what we want to do, and we need money to get them elected. I mean, this guy's talking about using the money to rebuild the state parties. What do you think rebuilding the state parties is for? To get Democrats elected. You're acting as if there is no quid pro quo here, that the people can give you money. But because you're not in Congress, you're putting people in Congress. You're using that money to get people elected. And that's just the money we know of from lobbyists. This has nothing to do with soft money. Money where they just give people, where you could say something like, let's say like I run an ad. An ad doesn't say support Jamarl Thomas. It says something like vote against Trump. And you may see my face on it. Now, I don't have to show you where I got that money from because that was soft money. And that wasn't really a political ad. That was just an ad against something else. This is so goddamn corrupt. It's a shame. And I suspect that Ellison, the first time he answered that question, knew full well how bad it looks. I mean, even in the debate, he knew how bad it looks. Hey, here's a bunch of money. I need you to do something. Cory Booker taking $300,000 and then killing a bill that would have lowered prescription drug costs? Oh, that looks bad. What about Obama taking huge amounts of money from Wall Street, coming in office after bashing them on the campaign trail, and protected them from any kind of criminal litigation? Mind you, they cost trillions of dollars. Oh, it's okay. Now, does the money have anything to do with that? Would they be getting that money again if Obama had passed something a little bit harsher or did put one of those guys in prison? That money probably would have went to the other party. Look, it's not always just quid pro quo. It's not, here's money, do favors. It may be that way sometimes, but for the most part, it's, you know, the interests of the people who are giving you that money. And you know that you are leaning a particular way. Kind of like a tree, like, I'm a little closer. I see how my toe in this part. But you're reaching for that money. This seems, look, I get it. You guys have gotten so accustomed to the big drugs, the big money, that the idea of representing your constituency scares you. I get it. You're like, fuck, man, that's a lot of money. Where are we going to get that money? We need that. Oh, we need that money. I need my fix. But I think what you'll find is you got to start somewhere. You got to go through the cold turkey, dude. Look, your ability is not, the democratic strength is not necessarily money. If you represent the interests of your people, if you represent your people, you will have ground support. You will have people giving you money when they realize that, oh, holy shit, these guys are not just bullshitting me. These guys are actually out there looking out for our best interests. Bernie Sanders has already shown you can do that. And granted, that's a presidential race. You can do it. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm just saying you can do it. And look, I'd even make the case you don't have a choice. You must understand you guys are not getting elected again if this is, just business as usual. And I think many of you have that idea. You guys are going with this idea of unity and everything else. There is no unity here. You can say it as much as you want. Unity, unity, unity. It's not like Republicans talking about radical Islamic terrorism. Just saying it doesn't make it go away. Just like saying it doesn't make unity happen. We are not fucking united. I am not a Democrat. There is a difference between Democrats and progressives. And pretending as if, oh, we're one big happy family. We are not a family. I do not care if you guys win your next election. I think that's what you need to understand. We do not have a dog in this hunt anymore. You guys, for the most part, from my standpoint, are just as bad as the other guys. That's what you don't get. We're not a family. We're not even in the same fucking party at this point. Yeah, I may vote for a Democrat if I think he's progressive, but if he's not, how are you going to win with people like me? And there's a lot of people like me who essentially said, yeah, these guys, same status quo. I want no parts of it. And you guys are fighting for a smaller and smaller section of the population. Do you know that the number of people who voted went down year by year by year? 2008 was the exception because of Obama. The trend picked right back up after 2008. You guys are fighting over a smaller electorate because the people don't think you're representing them. It doesn't really matter if you guys get a lot of money if you can't win because you don't necessarily have a party. One of the people said, right now, to take away lobbyist money will leave a hole of $18 million. I don't see how you can replace that. We get into this thing where we're holier than thou, but it's doing what we need to do as a party. You guys have lost the House, the Senate, the presidency, 12 governorships, and 66 out of 99 state legislatures. Has it helped you up to this point? Stop being whores. Leave the money alone. Shit, man. Nobody's saying going cold turkey. But you gotta get out of this. You guys are persistent losers. I mean, you're taking this money, and for what end? You can't represent anybody and take the money. Those two things don't coincide. You need to pick a pony. Represent your constituency or don't. If you don't, you will never win again until you do. So take it how you take it. Ellison, I think you had the right idea originally. I think you may be looking at the books and like, whew, but dude, you gotta make a change. You need to do it. If you take that position, if you don't take the position, it doesn't matter. You guys aren't going to win anything anyway. Progressives aren't going to vote for you. But if you take it, get rid of the lobbyist money. Even if it's symbolic, it's the least you could do. Thanks, guys.